Greetings, I'm Demonac, and it's arena time. Alright, I think it's about time for me to do another rogue arena. I feel like I don't choose them very often for the arena, A, because, I don't know, I don't feel like it's easy to get the right cards, or I don't feel like the rogue cards blow me away as being useful on their own. They kind of work more together, a little bit like the warrior stuff, but at least the rogue has a useful ability. But Rogue seems to be my main for ranked play, which is really starting to weird me out now that I think of it, because Rogue is not a class that I am attracted to thematically normally, and yet after I tried out a bunch of classes, it ended up being my main for the longest time when I actually played World of Warcraft. And then somehow that happened again in Hearthstone, and it was like, I don't know why I seem to be attracted to the play style of Rogue in these Blizzard games, even though, first off, it's different, because it's a CCG, it's not the same, and secondly, it's not what I think of as being my sort of thing, so I have no idea. But anyway, let's get back to choosing stuff. So, it's a little bit of a tough choice between the Sunwalker and the Azure Drake, right? The Sunwalker is often going to be worth 2 creatures, but the Drake is going to draw me a card, which is also pretty damn good. I'm going to take the Drake, even though it may not be good, but we'll see. The Archer, Deadly Poison. Fan of Knives is pretty nice. It's so hard to get board clear as a rogue. Like, I play Fan of Knives in my actual ranked rogue deck. Not because I find that it's, like, the best card. Like, I would much rather it do 2 damage and not draw a card, actually, which is sad, because drawing a card is awesome, but the rogue is so starved for board clear, right? Doesn't matter. It still makes it into my ranked deck, because if I don't have it, there are more different types of deck that have a better chance of getting away and owning me. So, playing with 2 Fans of Knives, even without the spell power, seems to increase my chance of winning, in my experience. Which only goes as far down as about rank 8. I never spent enough time playing to get further than that. But, Fan of Knives, the thing is, Deadly Poison can let me kill 2 things of decent size, and it's very cheap, it can trigger combos and stuff like that. Fan of Knives would draw me a card, but it is fairly weak. I'm thinking for the arena, I'm going to take the Deadly Poison. I might regret it, but it also might give me a chance for some weapon combos. Now here's another one, Backstab. Originally, when I started playing Rogue, I was trying to keep these to a minimum, because, I mean, for 1 card, it doesn't feel like it does that much. But the 0 casting cost, turns out it's actually amazing. It's amazing with other Rogue cards. You need this to help trigger your combos and stuff. I don't know how many combos I'm going to have in an Arena Rogue deck. So that makes me think, even though Backstab is awesome, I might actually go with Betrayal instead, because it has that chance. It's harder to get it to work right, but it can kill 2 minions with it potentially. And potentially much larger ones. Although, if I'm in a situation where I'm killing multiple large things with Betrayal, I was already in a bad place. Say I had 3 big bad things out. So that or the Backstab. Sap is actually better than I tend to give it credit for. The thing is, I don't like Sap in Hearthstone because it's only enemy minions. You don't have that flexibility to use it on your own. And there are so many things that have obnoxious battle cries. So you're using a card, if you're later in the game, when both players have used most of their cards and they don't have many left, Sap might still save your butt. It might still just win you the game if you sap the taunt creature and then attack and you can win. But there are a lot of circumstances where both of you are playing on a low number of cards. You have lots of mana, so the sap is really just delaying something for 1 turn. And of course, if you sap something with a battle cry, you can actually make the situation worse sometimes. Or certainly you get 0 card advantage out of this, if not less. So I don't tend to take that, but it has a good place in a lot of decks. Backstab versus Betrayal. I'm going to take the Betrayal. It's probably dumb, but we'll see. I need to get some minions here. If I take the Ogre Magi, then if I do get any damage dealing spells, that'll help. That's the thing that pisses me off about Betrayal, is that it's not affected by spell damage. Like, damn you, it's already kind of hard to use. Can you at least make it add spell damage? But no. Ogre Magi is a decent-sized minion, and he's got the spell power. Argent Squire is very popular with everyone but me, because, I mean, it's a great thing if you can put it out for cheap and then buff it with something else. But I don't know what kind of buffing creatures I'm gonna have. I'm gonna take the Fan of Knives instead, even though I badly need minions, because I don't know how much of this minion killing stuff I'm gonna get later on. And that also draws me a card, so it replaces itself. We're not taking the Razorfen Hunter. The Razorfen Hunter is just really bad compared to the Dragonling mechanic. The only reason you would use the Razorfen Hunter is if you are in fact a hunter who is going to get a benefit from her summoning a beast alongside her. But Dragonling mechanic is pretty damn powerful. On the other hand, a backstab is good too. But no, I need to start getting minions. You are good all the way through the game, pretty much, but you are also fat and man, you kick things ass. I'm gonna take him. Make sure I have this late game strength. Charge is nice, but 1 damage is not enough. Spell power might be nice. I don't know. I don't have that much stuff yet, but I'm definitely taking the Shattered Sun. If I was Ringleader in a constructed rogue, this would be fantastic. And it goes well with the backstab, obviously. It goes okay with the deadly poison, although that takes more setup, because remember you need to... I've spent 2 mana at some point to get that dagger out. Dark Iron Dwarf's very powerful. The deckhand is actually quite good for a rogue. It's not very good for anyone else, but the rogue can guarantee that she has a weapon most of the time. If she doesn't have one, she can just get one for a little mana, so he is usually a 2-1 charge for 1 mana. These are... Oh, why does it have to block all the good stuff together, man? These are all very strong. I guess I'll take the Ringleader and hope I get some more stuff, but I don't know. I don't think he's necessarily going to work out. Out of these guys, Leper Gnome's okay. Novice Engineer draws you a card, but I want the Spiteful Smith. Because again, if he gets his Enrage, gives my rogue built-in weapon +2 attack. It's only 1 attack weapon. That's like deadly poison all the time. It's very good. Okay. Big Game Hunter would be handy. There are a lot of things that he could help solve for me, and if you just play him early, he's at least like an offensive sort of creature. But I'm going to take the Faceless Manipulator because I'm tired of getting screwed by them all the time in Constructed. Like, god damn it, they piss me off now. But anyway. So Deckhand is still good. Fan of Knives is also good. Honestly, having more strong 2-mana creatures would probably be good too. I'm going to take another Fan of Knives because... I don't know. Because I make poor choices. So Vanish is strong but very situational. Doesn't work out that well. I'm not going to take Sinister Strike. I could understand, especially in the arena, going with the Mind Blast, the Priest one, because that's 5 damage per card. This is only 3 damage per card. It's not even that good. Like, you really need to have, like, this... You're using it to trigger combos, or you're using it with spell damage, or, you know, you have that kind of deck. This is not going to be that kind of deck. The Geomancer, on the other hand, boosts my Fan of Knives. He can turn... If I have him in my hand, I can turn a Fan of Knives into 5 mana for 2 damage to all minions, and draw a card, and I get him. So he's actually going to go well with the Fan of Knives. Cold Blood can be very strong for winning the game, but Assassinate, I'm going to need these. And there's the Backstab too, which would help me trigger the Ringleader, and I've got some spell damage now, but I better take the Assassinate so I have something to get rid of big minions. Oh, of course. Now I really wish I'd taken the Backstab, because I could go Backstab and then have an Assassinate. I do need more minions for fighting with. Assassinate's good. I need to make sure I have enough minions, so I'm going to take that. Gnomish Inventor would give me more minions and more spells, sort of, but it's so... I don't ever play this thing constructed, although I could see having a combo deck where you would find that worthwhile. I haven't devised one yet. Because if you have a deck where your purpose in life is to get 3 or 4 key cards and then just win with that, then this makes a lot of sense. Just getting in all the card drawing, but no. Having some taunt would be nice, and he is fat, but I think what I need is more of this early game that's still good later on, which is the Direwolf Alpha. Yeah. Nah. Take Fatso there. Shiv... See... I used to try and play more Shivs and less Fan of Knives, because I'm like, well, often your opponent only has 1 or 2 minions out, and this costs a lot less mana for that 1 damage and for drawing you a card. That's pretty awesome, right? No, I ended up replacing him. Again, it depends how combo-centric, how burn-centric, how like spell damage-centric your deck is, but Fan of Knives was solving a problem for my deck, and Shiv was not. But I'm going to take another ringleader, because why not increase the chances of that. To sprint? Oh, this is another good set. I normally don't like sprint very much. I've discussed that before. I mean, it costs so much mana, it basically costs your whole turn just to sprint. And if you're winning, well, you were already winning. If you're losing, you can't afford to take a whole turn doing nothing. Even though drawing 4 cards is one of the most powerful things in the world. That's why the Paladin one, Lay on Hands, is so much better. I mean, this is a basic card, and Lay on Hands is like rare or epic or something. But the Paladin one, for 1 more mana and 1 less card, it gains you 8 life, so it is stalling to give you a chance to be able to play those cards. This is really risky, but in the arena, we might both be kind of stalling out and not accomplishing much, and this would save my butt. On the other hand, Loot Hoarder will draw me a card earlier in the game, and he's more minions. Now, I'm going to take him anyway, because, I don't know. I'm just like that. I don't like any of these cards. This goes well in very, tuned combo-y sort of rogue decks, which I'm not going to have. Oh, man. I'm so pissed off for, that time. This is one of those things I have a problem. Ever since Magic the Gathering, I often read cards a certain way the first time, and then look at them 1,000 times and keep seeing what I originally saw. I didn't realize this was Spell. I thought it was just the next thing you cast. I thought this was the most broken card ever until I tried to play it. And then I was like, what? No. First off, I wasted it. And secondly, it was not at all doing what I thought. So this makes spells cheaper, but it doesn't actually make... It doesn't make anything else cheaper. And minions are the main thing you want to have cheaper. So yeah, it works great with combos and auctioneers and stuff, but it's not for me. I don't think I'm going to be... I think I'm going to be dumping more cards than I'm drawing. I find the Mountain Giant so bad. Oh, I don't like any of these cards at all. I'm going to take the Hungry Crab, because screw you guys. Wow, I have this choice again. That is weird. Master of Disguise is actually pretty good. Because you get a 4/4 for 4, and generally you just save one of your minions. It's unlikely to die now, unless it's going to get killed by an AoE. Wow, that is interesting. Thing is, I'm starting to get together... this would probably help balance my deck more. Having a big Taunter would be good. But I'm starting to get together a card-drawing, spell-damagey sort of theme, and this is going to help me draw more cards and have more spell damage. And, with 7 mana, I can play this and then Ringleader for 2 guys. And I'm going to try the Azure Drake. Probably dumb. Warlord is pretty good. Conceal is also pretty strong, but again, it's another one of those cards. It's that whole thing. The Rogue has certain deck types that all work together, but I'm tempted to take this anyway, because for 1 mana, this can totally change how, the game works out. Give me a chance to set up some guys and then attack. But I'm too dumb to use that. I'm going to just take the Warlord in, because he'll be useful all the time. I'm going to get Conceal in my hand and be like, this isn't doing anything, and then, I don't know, get ticked off. So, I've got Stormwind, Venture, Spiteful Smith, Warlord, Faceless Manipulator, 2 Azure Drakes. I have a lot of medium fat sort of stuff in here. Not the fattest, Azure Drakes are actually not always that strong for the casting cost, depending on the board position. Overall, it's great with the card drawing, but if you need something to get in there and survive, they often are not it, because you can get a tougher creature for less mana. Another Stormwind Champion is tempting. How many cheap minions do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got a reasonable amount of cheap minions. I'm just thinking the Berserker is so good, I should maybe take him, but no, yeah, I'm going to take him. I don't want to have my deck become too fat and expensive. These are not great. I guess we'll take the Tauren Warrior. Shadow Step. How much can I get out of Shadow Step? See, I don't have the really amazing things that you use it for. I don't have large charge minions. I mean, the Ringleader, this can give you an insane, ridiculous start sometimes, and I might take it just for that, but I don't have that I don't have that many crazy battle cries either. There are lots of okay battle cries things, but they're not going to be they're not worthy of Shadow Step. You need it to do something huge, like 2 damage to any target on a cheap guy, SI7 agent, or a big charge. You know what? I think the Warden is actually more what my deck needs. Something defensive, not too expensive. So Bodyguard stops if he's not that tough for a taunt minion, but he does sort of stop things. Silencing something would be good. I don't have that much silence. I don't have as much removal as I thought I was going to have early on, right? I've got the Fans of Knives, but Raging Worgen, I don't have any good way to manipulate him because I didn't take the Shiv, but he's pretty scary when he gets out. Yeah, I'm going to take the Silence. A lot of people will probably fault that choice. Get another Silence and a cheap minion, or I could get another Betrayal. I'm going to take the Betrayal. Really? I don't really want that many Betrayals because it's actually hard to use. We'll take the Dark Iron Dwarf for more medium game sort of strength. I'm running out of cards quickly. Shiv, Sap, or Assassin's Blade? Assassin's Blade, I don't like it much in constructive, but in the arena this gives me a lot more killing power. On the other hand, Shiv, I have a little bit of spell damage. I have a couple enraged minions that I could Shiv, draw a card, and give him his bonus, or for the Tauren Warrior. How much spell damage do I have? I've got the 2 Drakes and the Geomancer. That's probably it. It's not a bad amount, but it's still, even with spell damage, it's like 2 damage. Ah, so hard. I guess I'll take the Assassin's Blade. Sprint or Brewmaster? I have so much expensive stuff in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cards that cost 5 or more. Already. There's a reasonable amount of like cheap stuff too. Could draw me a bunch of cheap cards, but it could not. I'm gonna take the Brewmaster. He's gonna be useful more often when I get him in my hand. Okay, I don't really need another Azure Drake at this point. I don't think. I don't have enough spell damage to really optimize it. I do have a good amount of card drawing, which is great, but you can be pretty fat for cheap. Defender of Argus is actually what I need. I need that flexible sort of taunt power. So that is it. That is an Arena Rogue. I don't feel like it's particularly well balanced or has a solution to all problems. So it's going to have problems. But it's not horrible. We'll just have to see how it goes. Yeah, I think that's the thing with Rogue. Too many of the Rogue cards are situational when you don't have the advantage of constructing the deck in the normal way. We have a Sneaky Priest. See? Oh, that is an expensive starting hand, but I'm probably going to get a lot of those since I have at least 8 cards that cost 5 or more. Oh, that's much better. He's going to think I have an all-enraged deck. Okay, well, I have nothing for my first turn. Having the coin probably would have been good for me. What's he doing with it?
Mind if I roll need?
Oh, that's okay. So I have choices. I can either kill him with a dagger, still have 1 use left on my dagger, and it's only 2 damage. I could play the Berserker, which would give him more control, but, I mean, what's he going to do? He could Power Word shield this and then trade, only the Berserker, neither of them dies and the Berserker goes Berserk. The Berserker wins that fight. I'm just wondering if I'm better off stabbing him to death anyway, just because I can. No, I'm going to put out the Berserker. Because you can make the dagger and use it immediately. If I want the Berserker to do anything, I have to get him out first to get rid of his summoning sickness. Well, that's great. I have like a mouse in my kitchen. Okay, that's unfortunate. Alright, so I could play this or stab him to death. Well, let's just keep up the stupidity. You got another Shadow Word for him?
For the crusade!
Yeah, that's a little scary. Okay. Interesting. So I've got enough mana to betrayal and stab. So if I work this right, this guy can kill everyone.
I wonder.
He has to do the attack on that. I'd have to take the 3 damage for stabbing him myself. Yeah, okay. So I need to betrayal this. I have to target him so that he damages the other one. Then I go boom.
Here we
Stab. Of course, if the priest was out of Shadow Word Pain, he could now use a Shadow Word Death to kill this thing, which is kind of annoying. But if for some reason he didn't have that or a Holy Smite, I might actually get to hit him for 5, which would be fun. I rate the odds as low. Mind Vision. That's no good. I don't want him getting either of these. Even that's not great for me. This would be pretty horrible. Aw, really? I knew I wasn't going to get a chance to hit him for 5. Alright. Guess we're going to go... I'm going to get Holy Nova, just the problem. I was going to go this, and attack, and then stab that, but I don't want to get Holy Nova, so I'm actually going to put out this guy.
Here we go.
He could screw me, but the idea is, if the priest can't kill him, he can just win half the game for me, basically. So this would be a good time for a Shadow Word Death. Actually, he's big enough that you could kill him with the Big Game Hunter, although Big Game Hunter is rare, so it's harder. What do you got? Holy Nova is less appealing against this.
This is our town.
Oh, you did get that. That is very annoying. Now I wish I had a Holy Nova. Which would be pretty hard. So, let's see. I think a bunch of these guys is a little bit too expensive. No, I think we're just going to go smash, smash, stab. Yes, I could have made this one, but why would I make it to kill something that only has 1 toughness? I could have made it and killed this, I guess, but then he would still have 4 damage worth of things out that would help him. He would almost have this guy dead, right? I don't want that. I might have to trade for that one. That's pretty bad. But if I do that, then I can play other stuff, so that's good. Yeah.
How you doing?
Can't let that thing be allowed to survive. Then... yeah, I can make a small army by doing this. Oh, that should work out. Okay.
This is our town, scrub.
Yeah.
I could stab for 1, but I think I'm going to be using all my mana next turn trying to make a huge Frostwolf Warlord. So, if I generally don't make a new dagger if I'm pretty confident that I'm going to use all of my mana on the next turn, because there's a value to having the dagger out. Now, it could screw me if I draw the poison, right? Because then I'd either want to make a new dagger before using the poison, or I would only get 1 use on it. But other than the deadly poison, it's almost always, like, if you think you're not going to have mana to make a new dagger next turn, you might as well save your dagger rather than doing 1 damage to the other player. Most of the time. Okay, that's unfortunate. That's fairly predictable. It did draw out a Holy Nova, though, so that part's good. But that's going to make him smaller, unfortunately. So I could delay him, play some of my army first. I might get Holy Nova'd, but go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So many options.
That's a tough one. Because if I play him now, I go 1, 2, 3, and he comes out as a 6/6, which I would have now. You know what? Having a 6/6 now is... Yeah, I shouldn't get caught up in trying to make him as big as possible. Having a 6/6 now is more valuable, and I would still have this and this in my hand to do good things with. Okay. Mission accomplished. I've successfully gotten around bad sort of sucker thinking.
Here we go.
It's really easy to get sucked into these making cards better instead of what is actually better for you to do overall. He has no minions on the board, and I have all this stuff. Even if he Holy Novas, this guy will still be huge. That's much more valuable to me than putting out a bunch of stuff which could still be Holy Novas, which would not have that much damage output on the board. That's scary. Oh, that changes things. I was going to go play this, stab the bear, and then kill that guy and proceed. But now, I can play the Stormwind Champion, that's another 6/6 for me. Then trade this guy for the 3/3. Man, that is pretty awesome. I'm going to put him on this side so he collapses towards the alpha.
Here we go.
There we go. Not too shabby. So I have quite a force out there. He has 9 mana now. If he has any crazy legends, they might be able to come out. Other than crazy legends, he can't mind control yet. Mind games, that's a little scary. That thing is so utterly random. Well, that was a crappy thing to draw with mind games. He got a Defender Vargas with no battle cry. Awesome. I'm not a big fan of the card mind games, but it's another one of those ones that can just randomly crush your opponent for no good reason by pulling out a big legend on turn 4 or something. Most of the time it will not do very well, but sometimes it'll just win you the game for no reason at all. Okay, we're going to ditch this little knife, get an Assassin's Blade to kill that guy with, so my guys can spend all their efforts fighting.
Here we go.
Go smash, smash, and him. Now if he plays another minion, I can kill it with this guy and probably boost my weapon even further. There should be no way he can survive this now. Although he has 10 mana, so he could mind control one of my giant guys. None of them have taunt. He's doomed. Alright. Well, my fatness worked out well that game, but I don't know if we can count on it in the future. But anyway, I guess we'll just have to find out next time. Please click the like button before it clicks you. And don't forget to subscribe to Demonac Games for more Hearthstone Arena and other gaming videos.